If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And as I always say, why give up today when tomorrow might be the day you win?
My cousin Fanum got a street sign in the Bronx. But here's the thing, people are asking questions. Does a streamer really deserve a sign on the Walk of Fame? And not because they hate Fanum, but most likely because they don't even understand what the walk is. So let me break it down to y'all. On May 17th, 2026, the Bronx Walk of Fame unveiled a street sign for Roberto Fanum Escanio, entertainer and influencer, right in my hometown, the BX, specifically on the Grand Concourse.
3, 2, 1.
And for those who don't know, the Grand Concourse, it's a 23-block stretch in the Bronx, and they've been celebrating Bronx legends since 1997. Now I get it, most of you don't even know this thing exists, but this is a big deal. We're talking about a borough that's honored people like Fat Joe, Funkmaster Flex, and many more. The Bronx Walk of Fame was created in 1997 by the Bronx president, Fernando Ferreira. The mission was simple: celebrate people from the Bronx who actually matter, people who made an impact in music, business, sports, arts, journalism, whatever it is. For 29 years, it's been about legacy, about being so undeniable that your own borough says you're ours and we claim you. And that's why some people are skeptical about Fanum. Not because he's not talented, because he is, but because the question becomes, has streaming actually proven itself to be a legit field? Or is it still too new, too fluid, too dependent on memes and clips? And Fanum is the first digital creator on there, the first.
If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And as I always say, why give up today when tomorrow might be the day you win? BX forever, BX for life. I love y'all.
If I'm not mistaken, he might be the first Dominican streamer up there too. And look, I know Fanum, the Bronx knows Fanum. He's been streaming for years out the Bronx. Not in some LA mansion, literally at home. He built AMP. They became the face of streaming. He's been on cameras for thousands of hours. That's not luck. That's putting in the work. The Fanum Tax isn't just a meme. It's become stamped. People outside of streaming know what Fanum Tax is. That's culture penetration. That's impact. YouTube videos, consistent presence, his local Bronx roots that never went away. He's been grinding while other creators chase clout somewhere else. And here's the real thing, Fanum represents something. He represents that the Bronx doesn't need to be left behind. He represents the Hispanic and black kids from NYC seeing someone who looks like them, that came from where they came from, that essentially is them succeeding on a global platform. That's worth something. I'm not gonna stand here and pretend like Fanum invented streaming, but I'm also not gonna pretend like what he's done building an audience, representing his borough and culture doesn't matter, because it does. But now here's where it gets interesting. Just a few weeks ago, iShowSpeed did his Caribbean tour. It was a massive global moment. Speed traveling the world once again, streaming live from different countries, breaking records, and he goes to the Dominican Republic. And who's hosting him? Alofoke. And we cover this in my past videos, so if you want to check them out, make sure you go check out my last videos. We deep dive on what actually happened. But Alofoke, one of the biggest media personalities in the Dominican Republic with millions of viewers, he was hosting. This was the Dominican streaming moment. Speed stream hits 1.9 million views. Then Speed came out and said his organic viewership was 300,000. Ain't saying numbers still, but the point is they try to say it was manipulated. And who was the architect behind the stream? Alofoke. But here's the question, where's Fanum? Fanum literally showed up on that stream, but it was a random meeting.
What's up, baby? Hey, man, where you been, bro? You say you called me? Bro, I called you, bro. I called you.
Lips hit me.
Yeah,
But he hit me through Twitter DM.
Nah, he capping. We one-tapped you. We one-tapped you.
It was a viral moment. He and Speed saw each other on the freeway and they met up and it became this whole wholesome clip. But he wasn't the one directing Speed. Fanum wasn't the one hosting. He wasn't the one on the microphone building the narrative. Alofoke was. And here's what people are asking. If Fanum is truly one of the biggest American streamers, if he's got AMP, he's got reach, and he's connected to the island, why isn't he the one setting the tone in his own culture space? Think about what that stream could have been if Fanum was the main guy, the main narrator, that main connection between Speed and the Dominican Republic, that Dominican culture, not just that random encounter on the freeway. A planned collaboration between two major creators, one of whom actually has roots there. That might have just been way bigger than Alofoke. That would have positioned Fanum as the bridge and that Caribbean identity. Instead, he showed up for a clip and he spent a little bit of time inside of Planeta Alofoke with Speed. Some may say that it reveals something about his brand, how it might not be organized enough for the big moments. It's not strategic enough to own the narrative when it matters. He's talented, he's present, but he seems reactive and not generative. That's not hate, that's my primo. That's just a small observation. The Walk of Fame saying you matter, but the Dominican Republic situation might have said something different. You're not mattering yet when it counts the most. So now is when we get into the real question. Does streaming belong on the Walk of Fame at all? Fat Joe, he can point to albums, chart numbers, cultural moments that changed hip-hop, measurable impact. Fanum can point to what exactly? Hours of streaming, viral clips, a meme that became a verb. Here's the thing, streaming is still proving itself. 10 years from now, most of these streamers, if not, I would say 80 to almost 90% of these streamers will be forgotten. Others will definitely change entertainment, but right now, we don't know which is which. I think we're kind of in the middle of it. The Walk of Fame is about permanence. It's about people whose impact is so undeniable that 30 years from now, people are still gonna know who they are. And let me know in the comments, can we say that about Fanum just yet? Honestly, maybe that Fanum Tax might be that durable. AMP might be remembered as a culture moment. His Bronx roots and Dominican culture, it might matter in a way that we just don't fully understand just yet. Or in 5 years, he could become a footnote. The Walk of Fame, they're banking on something, and I think there's a case for it. So I don't want y'all to think I'm hating on it. That's my primo. But that case just not proven yet. It's basically a bet on streaming being legit, a bet on Fanum's longevity. But that's actually interesting though. It means that streaming just hit another threshold where we got institutions taking us seriously enough to induct us in the Bronx Walk of Fame, basically saying digital creators matter. And that's the real story. Not whether Fanum individually deserves it, but whether streaming as a field has finally broken through. But let me be real for a second. Growing up Dominican in New York City, you don't even think about yourself being on the Bronx Walk of Fame. You see musicians, you see athletes, you see people in fields that were established 50 years ago, but you don't really see yourself creating in real time. Fanum getting that sign, it does something for Dominican kids who are watching. It says you can be from the Bronx, you can still do something that didn't exist 10 years ago and still matter, and that's real. But Fanum, my boy, getting that sign also means the work isn't over. It means you've been given this platform, you're stamped now, and now the question is, what are you gonna do with it? Does he lean more into that Dominican culture and try to become that bridge between American streaming and Caribbean content? Does he build something in DR that might actually challenge Alofoke's dominance in the Dominican Republic, or does he stay in the US and just stay with AMP and let that be enough? Because here's the thing, that Walk of Fame is just the beginning. It's validation, but it's not the whole story. Fanum definitely deserves this honor, and I congratulate him. Genuinely proud of him. Love to see people win and succeed. Dominican creators are finally getting their flowers, but the game is still being written. So whatever's next, it's on him. And honestly, I'm pretty sure he got many moves left, but that's what I got. Let me know in the comments if you think Fanum deserves that sign. Let me know if you feel like streamers belong on the Walk of Fame, period. But if you enjoy this, make sure to hit the subscribe button to join the official society. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss any of my drops, and hit the like button so we can get this video out to more people and maybe Fanum can see this. I'm Gabe Official. This is the official society, and until next time, holla at your boy.
Official society.